Hi everyone. Good night, good evening. Welcome to our Sidelines Unite call. It's June 19, Father's Day. So thank you so much for being on, and happy Father's Day to all the amazing dads out there. And yes, welcome. I just appreciate that each one of you take time to invest in yourself and invest in your business. And really, what has meant so much to me growing up in Arbonne and learning this business is to link arms with Sidelines. That's something that's so unique to Arbonne, is the culture of an open door that we can all learn from each other. And I love the analogy of the redwood tree. It's the largest tree, it lives the longest, and yet it has the shallowest root system. And the reason it can grow so tall and for so long is because the roots intertwine together. So that's what I envision these calls doing, is we're growing our roots. We're getting solid in the basics and the foundation principles of this business so that we can grow our team strong and have that longevity in this business that we're all desiring. So again, I just appreciate all of you for jumping on and taking time out of your night. And tonight's call is something that, we can never hear enough of. It's by popular demand. People wanted to hear, verbiage for booking presentations, because it doesn't matter if you're new or if you're more seasoned in Arbonne. We're still learning, we're still refining. And the good news is, a skill, and this is what it is, a skill is, the act of asking people to host for you or to schedule a presentation with you. A skill can always be honed and refined and learned. That's not like a character flaw or anything. This is something we can all work on and improve upon. So I'm really excited. I just had an illumination where it feels like, you screw in another light bulb into your brain. I've been around Arbonne for a long time, but I heard Tarrah Brandsma give a training, and she talked about how she booked presentations. And if you're not familiar with ENVP Tarrah Brandsma, she's a CPA. She has a corporate background. She looks at numbers. And I loved the way she analyzed verbiage and analyzed the psychology behind how we're asking for presentations. And so I was just really excited to share this because, again, I've been doing this a long time too, and it's really helped me reformulate the words that I'm using and the way that I'm asking. So I just wanted to share a little bit. We all know we need activity in our calendar in order to grow a business. However, when it comes time to make those calls and ask, ooh, it's really uncomfortable sometimes. Does anyone relate to that? And it is. Sometimes you just feel like you're fumbling. Oh my goodness, I've gotten off the phone like, what did I just say? You're tripping over your words and your heart's beating, you're sweating. So if you're in that camp, you're not alone. We're all in this together. So we're just going to kind of work this out and get more comfortable with asking. I had an epiphany when I heard Tarrah Brandsma speak on how to ask for presentations. For me and for most of us in the beginning, it's our comfort zone to talk about the products, right? It was for me, that's what I always focused on, was talking about the products. And even when we're asking for presentations, we're focused on what products they'll get, what freebies they'll get. And sometimes, don't you agree that sometimes the person you're asking, they don't even know the value of the products that you're talking about? They don't know what you're talking about. They don't know, how amazing these products are, because they need to hear the presentation first, right? So what happens is, more often than not, the response is, I don't know, Tammy, I don't do those things, or I'm good on products, I'm all set, or I don't know, I don't think my friends are going to be into this, or you know what I mean, how it's sort of like non-committal. They're trying to be nice, but they're just, not really into it. So whatever the excuse, we're literally running into a wall. But we think we need to make it about the product, so we keep doing it, right? And it's actually easier to talk about the products because that's, it's fun, it's exciting, we all love them. But really, let's think about how we would respond to the way we are asking. And I was kind of making jokes about this. So I'm not putting any other companies down, okay? I promise, because we're all in this together. But I just want you to hear this with different ears if someone were to ask you to take a look at their products. So, hi, Melinda. I don't know if you heard, but I just started my whey protein shake business, my aspartame energy drink business, and my plastic bowl business, whatever it is. And I'm wondering if you could get some friends together for me to share my products with. And you will get all kinds of free whey protein mix. You'll get free aspartame energy drink and free plastic bowls for hosting. So would weekends or weekdays work better for you?
None.
But see, isn't it interesting? Because that's like what we're doing. They don't know what we're offering. So I just, I'm kind of like making fun of myself just to make a point here and not putting any other companies down. We all love each other. So for some reason, think about this. It's easier for people to say no to the products than it is for them to say no to helping us out. Because really, if we're asking for someone to help us out, who's going to say, I don't really like helping people? No, I don't think my friends would want to help people. I mean, it's just like, again, psychologically a little tougher to say no to that. So now listen to this ask, okay? So, hey, Joan, it's Tammy calling. Do you have a quick sec? And just as a little interjection here, and I've done this over and over where we chit chat with people at first, like you get them on the phone and you're kind of nervous. So you just, Joan, how's your weekend going? Okay, great. How's your kids? How's, whatever, and then when we finally get to the ask, it sort of feels like an agenda, right? It sort of feels like that chit chat wasn't real. It was fake. And it's just not as authentic. It just has a different feel. So go ahead and get right to the point. And this is something I've really been intentional about, is just being more clear with what I'm asking of people. So, hey, Joan, it's Tammy calling. Do you have a quick sec? And of course she's going to say, sure, Tammy, what's up? Right, John? And so I would say, getting right to the point, here's the deal. I don't know if you know, but I recently started a business with Arbonne, and I'm really excited because although I love what I do, I'm sick of working 60 hours a week. I'm wanting to create choices so that I can work part-time, and I'm doing Arbonne to create more choices. So to get my business off the ground and get it moving, I've been challenged to get 8 group get-togethers on my calendar in the next 30 days, and I'm super close. It's really simple. I do all the work. And I was sitting here thinking and racking my brain as to who might be willing to help me out with this. And I thought of you. Like I said, it's super simple. I do all the work. My only job is to get in front of people. Would you be willing to help me out? And then stop talking. And it's just a different feel. I didn't even talk about products, right? I didn't say what's in it for her. I didn't say, you get free stuff, whatever. I just said, would you be willing to help me out? And here's why. And I was vulnerable. Like, I'm sick of working 60 hours. I'm looking to go part-time. Could you help me with that? So then in contrast, would you host a party for me? It's so easy to say no to that, right? People are thinking, when you ask them, oh, can you host a party for me? Can you host a get-together, an event, a workshop? People are thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get food. I'm going to have to clean my house. This is going to be, I don't know. And you hear all these excuses. I'll host for you in September, because they just want to put it off. So whereas if we say, what do you think? Do you think you could help me out? It's really hard to say no, right? It's just a different kind of ask. And so, I'm not saying people are going to jump up and down and say, woo, people are going to be like, oh, okay, Tammy, because I love you. What do you want me to do? What does this involve? And it's okay. It's okay for people not to be overjoyed, because they're going to feel overjoyed once you give them their host, sample basket and all of that. But they are willing to help you out. And so when you think about it, it's just more authentic and it's so real. We're just asking, can you get me in front of some people? I don't even care if you buy a thing. I just need to meet people, right? So that's what we're asking. So even if you were working for a big goal, you can use the same kind of verbiage because people want to help you out. So think about this, like if your goal is to finish district, or if you're going for area qualification, you know, you want to remember that your contacts know people that you don't know. And so the people you haven't met yet are the ones who will change your business. And that is, whew, that is the way it goes. So even with someone that you've asked to host in the past, because, you know, sometimes we do that. We go through and people say no, and then you're like, shoot, I'm still thinking about them. Let me go back and ask again. You could even say, hey, Amy, I know we've gone down this path before, but here's the deal. I'm super close to promoting to the next level of Arbonne. I've challenged myself. I love that verbiage. I've challenged myself to step up my personal activity, and my goal is to schedule 8 group get-togethers on my calendar over the next 30 days. So when I was thinking about who might be willing to help me out with this, I thought of you. It's super simple. I do all the work. What do you think? Would you be willing to help me out? So it's more about asking for help than it is about products. They want to support you. They don't want to support the products, right? And that takes being vulnerable. And that's why most of us don't do that in the beginning because it's scary. You feel a little exposed, right? We're strong, independent people, and we don't want help. We want to be the ones to help others. But you will be shocked by how many people are willing to help you. And according to Tarrah Brandsma, when she switched from talking about the products right off the bat and started asking, you know, would you be willing to help me out? She went from getting 2 out of 10 yeses to 8 out of 10 yeses. She's the numbers girl. I think I'm into this. So it's just the psychology of asking for something very, very different. You're asking for help versus asking someone to host a party. So I'd love, I don't know, are you okay to share, Melinda? Do you have yours?
I do, Tammy, and I actually love your second one. So let me just use your verbiage, but insert my why, because I think we can all do that, right? We can all insert our why. So it would go like this. Hi, Tammy, it's Melinda. Do you have a quick sec?
Sure.
Here's the deal. I'm super close to promoting to the next level of Arbonne. You know, I've been working Arbonne and I love it. And it's a really good thing because I don't know if you know this, but Tom has decided to retire September 1st. And Liza's going off to college August 20th. So I've got all of this stuff going on with my family. And I really want to contribute more to my household income. And so what I've done, I've challenged myself to step up my personal activity. And my goal is to schedule 8 group get-togethers over the next 30 days. When I was thinking about who might be able to help me or willing to help me out, I thought of you. It's super simple. I do all the work. What do you think? Would you be willing to help me out?
I love that. Do you guys love that?
I love that too.
It just feels like it sits nicely. You're not like, ugh, you know, repelled. So I'd love to open it up for a second. What do you guys, how do you feel about this? Do you feel like you could do this kind of verbiage? Because I typed it up. It's a Word document now. I can share it if you're into it. It's just generic. So we need to put in our own why statement, you know, but to make it powerful.
I always think it's much easier when you're asking people to help you meet people as opposed to help you get sales.
So tell me how that would sound. That's a great point.
Well, I think kind of, I need to put these back on actually. I think asking people by saying, what I like to do is because of how we use host rewards, because our host rewards are basically my discount.
Right.
So I always am very upfront with my hostesses by saying, look, I just need to meet a few people. I need to get outside of my circle. I'm a little bit stagnant, or I'm a little bit lost. So I need a little help. People love to help you. I need a little help just meeting a few people that I just completely am not connected to. And I know you, but I don't know anybody. I don't know any of your neighbors because I don't live on that side of town, or whatever the instance is. And if you would gather a bunch of people for me, just, 3-4 guests, I will bring all the products. I will give you a free hostess gift, and you're going to save 35 to 50% on whatever you want in Arbonne. And your friends don't have to feel like they're going to buy anything. You can tell them, look, come, enjoy. My host rewards are not dependent on you buying something. And all of my hostesses say, oh, that makes me feel so much better, because I wouldn't want my friends to feel like they have to come to buy the thing, because I know I've been to that party with the jewelry, and I knew I had to buy like a necklace. I didn't really want a necklace, but I knew I had to buy one so my friend could get something. And that's been the response. So when I'm just I address the elephant in the room, if you will, and say, look, you're going to get all of your hostess rewards, regardless of whether your friends shop that night. I just need to meet people to share this story and, hopefully meet some people that could help me meet some other people. And I get, my hostesses, I've had almost every single person say yes. Finding the date sometimes can be a little bit trickier, but every person has said, oh yeah, sure, I would do that. Because they also want 35 to 50% off, and they don't want their friends to feel like they have to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
For sure. Yes, I love it.
So, and then it's great because if they get the discount, and everyone who comes always purchases. You can say that to the cows come home. Oh, they don't need to buy anything, but they do because they want it. They love the products.
Once you created the value, yes, then
right.
Mm-hmm.
So the nights always are a high volume night.
I love it. I love it. Do you have anything to add, Leslie? Thank you, Kendall.
Absolutely.
I love what Melinda said and Kendall said as well. I think one of the things that I always do is it's just in the moment, very honest. So I think of I listen to the still and quiet voice and see who lands on my mind, and I start making a list of people. And when I call them, it's the same verbiage. It's very similar, I should say. And I'm always either going for something, or there's something really exciting that just happened. So what's happened recently is my last spa party was so fun. I mean, we were laughing so hard, we were like wetting our pants. It was crazy good. And out of it came a business partner. And I'll actually share that. I said, my last party was so fun. We were laughing so hard, we like wet our pants. And I actually got a business partner out of it who's a social worker. And she's excited because she's probably going to leave her job in the fall. So it's a ton of fun. How about I just come over, real casual, and we'll just have some fun together. And I love the part of I'm always looking to meet new people. Mm-hmm. I'm always looking to meet new people. I really need to meet new people would come out of my mouth if it's someone who cares about me. Because, if they're an acquaintance, which my database is huge, they're like, okay, fine, go meet new people then, So I have to have at least a connection, a deeper connection if I'm asking for help, or if I say I need something. And two more things. Val Darien used this when she was confronted with objections. She would say, listen, I'm not asking for a kidney, because she had a kidney, right?
She had a kidney transplant, right?
She really had a kidney transplant, right? And a lot of people knew that. And so you could say something like that, and I think it's hilarious, especially if you really need one. And the other thing that I often say, if they say, oh, I'm too busy, blah, 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 I'll just say, you know what? I've got the perfect presentation for busy people. I'm in and out in an hour. It's called the 3-4-5, and you're going to love it. It's super great. And I can't even remember what the 3-4-5 is. It just depends. And, when I originally heard the training, I don't remember what they called that, what their 3 and 4, but I'll make up the 3-4-5 based on what I know their need and what would get them to move. All you need is 3 people. We're going to cover 4 product lines, and we're covering 5 pages in the catalog, and we're going to laugh 100 times. You know, something like that. But I think the key and the underlying key is, just like you said, it's not about the products. It's about helping out. If you have a connection, I could really use your help. It would mean the world to me, is another phrase. It would mean the world to me. I'm not asking for a kidney. Oh my gosh, you're that busy? I've got the perfect thing. This could be win-win. It's called the 3-4-5, and then make it up. And the best way to have 6 to 8 presentations on your books, of course, is launch someone. And teach them this verbiage, and get as many people going as you can while their enthusiasm is high. I have always found that the most successful way to have an absolutely busting calendar is launch 1 or 2 people.
Yep. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. And here's the deal. Even so, say you've been calling and talking to people, and you have because to your point, Leslie, this is something that I've again kind of reassessed, reevaluated, and changed my way of talking to my team. Is, you know, if they say, oh, I have 2 group presentations booked on my calendar, I'll say, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Good for you. This is so cool. And our system is 8. The recipe is 8. So keep going, you know, and even if you have to, because really, right, that's the recipe. And I love how Wendy Carr a few weeks back said, you know, when you're looking at a recipe, no one questions, well, why does it have to bake at 350 degrees? You just follow the recipe because you know it's going to have that outcome that you want. So why are we always trying to like, well, I'm just not going to do, I'm going to only do part of what they say, only part of the system. Well, then you're only going to get part of the result. So if your why is like, you know, if you're going for this, really follow the system, and our system is 8 in a month. And so to your point, Leslie, if you're, you know, kind of stuck at, you know, 3 or 4 or 5, you could always host yourself, right? You could always have your own events and invite people to those as well. Or I love turning people, it's so funny because I hear this quite a bit actually, like, oh, I don't do those things, or oh, I don't really want to do a party. Okay, no problem. Do you have a friend who'd want to like come over and do facials and match color? You know, we have new makeup. Do you want to check it out? Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? So just, you could change your wording around that. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be you taking some products over and meeting with 2 people, and that's still 2 more people, right? To add into your 40 faces list, right? So so I wanted to, again, well, do you want to hear how I've been asking to, this was of course I wrote it out. It didn't sound this way when I was on the phone because I was just winging it, but I said something like, because again, I'm in a new area, so I'm really like starting from scratch here. I need to get some activity going. So I just said, hey, Sarah, it's Tammy calling. Do you have a quick second? Here's the deal. We just moved, and I'm working to get the ball rolling with Arbonne in this area. I'm really excited to grow my business to the next level because that would mean more options for our family. It's also, and I'm hoping by saying that it's more options for our family, I'm hoping that she would resonate with that. Because I could say it really specific, but I'm just trying to say something that would resonate with her. Really excited to grow my business to the next level because that would mean more options for our family. It's also my way to get our nonprofit up and running. The nonprofit, if you didn't know, Sarah, is called the Sheila Grant, and it's my dream for honoring my sister's life. It will be a way for people to see an integrative provider of their choice without having to pay out of pocket. I'm doing Arbonne to create more choices and to get this Sheila Grant up and running. I've actually challenged myself to step up my personal activity by scheduling 8 group get-togethers over the next 30 days, and I'm so close. I was thinking about who might be willing to help me out with this, and I thought of you. It's really simple. I do all the work. What do you think? Would you be willing to help me out? I really 100% believe people want to be part of a cause. They want to be part of something exciting. And who knows, they might check back in, like, how's that, how's the grant going, or that thing you were talking about, and they want to be part of it. So I think it's exciting for us to say, I'm reaching for a goal and I'm personally challenging myself, because they know that you're a person that's going for something. I mean, it's exciting, isn't it, when you see someone just going for something? So I really do think people want to be part of a bigger cause, a bigger mission, if you will. So it's okay to put in whatever is authentic to you. I wanted to hear from Joan. Maybe now's a good time, because then we're gonna link our why into our booking. Okay, so here's our little transition piece. But I want to hear from Joan. She has some of the most compelling reasons for doing Arbonne, and it makes me tear up every time I hear from her. She's just an amazing human being, and you need to hear from her too, because she will move you. Can you unmute yourself, Joan? Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And I think my whys are not that awesome. They're just like anybody else's. But I just want to kind of let you know, I actually went over this with my husband today, and it was great, conversation. Because that's something I always struggle with, like, why am I doing this? But I came up with 9. And I'm just trying to figure out how I can incorporate even one of those to, like, Melinda, you said it so elegantly, and you too, Tammy. And the other gal, which I can't remember her name, Kendall. I really like how you guys put that. And number 1.
I typed out the verbiage, so I'll post that.
Oh, okay. One reason I'm doing Arbonne, thank you, is number 1, I want to be my own boss. I don't mind working. I just want to work when I want to work. 2, I love helping people, and I love helping people not only look, but also to feel better. Because when somebody tells me they have a problem, I'm like, oh, how can I fix them? And I think that's just from being a nurse. And number 3 is I'm doing Arbonne because it's something that I enjoy, and I can actually measure results, by looking at, our numbers at the end of the week or month. 4, I want to be more available for my family. And 5, retire my husband, who's not necessarily retire him, he likes what he does, but just to have less stress in his life, which I think we can all equate with. Number 6, show my kids really a strong work ethic and how you can achieve goals through perseverance. 7 is really spend less time at the hospital around all the toxic environment, unfortunately, that we're in. 8 is have more time to develop our organic gardens, which we've been working on for 3 years. We were out there today for like 5 hours. And we're developing the organic gardens because we want to actually give back to the community and really teach people how to grow their own food, and instead of going to the grocery store and buying garbage. Number 9 is really, the last one is just really to improve myself with more personal growth, just to be a better person, wife, mom, sister, friend. And that's kind of it, with my whys.
I love it.
So is that kind of, Tammy, what you were thinking about? Just like kind of going through?
I could see a couple of those, you could use a couple of those for when you're asking, so that I'm doing this, I'm challenging myself personally so that, my husband has less stress, we have more options as a family, and also to keep continuing to grow our organic garden, which is to serve the community and give back. And I mean, I just think that's beautiful. Again, people are just like, what are you talking about, Joan? That's amazing. Where is it? Yes, I want to help. What do I have to do?
Right. Okay. Because I'm just trying to figure out how to put all that together, and because I love your ideas, all of you. I mean, so far it's been great. Leslie, wonderful.
Well, thank you, Joan. Thank you for sharing. Does anyone else want to share their why? I know it's a little bit off the cuff, but maybe just, I was asking for 8, and there's a reason for that, but go ahead, Karen. Yes, let's hear from you.
It's not really my why, but my passion, and that's kind of how I just address it when I invite people to have a presentation is, my passion is changing lives through healthy living and clean eating. And I would love the opportunity to share it with people that you know are interested in healthy living or clean eating, or who want to reverse aging, and just take that approach by, kind of like asking that question, like, who do you know?
I love that. I'm so glad we're recording so I can listen to this again. I love it. That's perfect. So I was thinking, does anyone else want to share their why for doing this business? I know it's a little...
My newest why has just been sharpened a little bit. It's always been to retire my husband. It's not, I felt like that was a little loosey-goosey. It wasn't precise enough, but I really got it on our last vacation when we just had a blast. We did so many fun things. It was the time of my life. We had such a great time. But he can't be off working at the Dallas airport or whatever airport he's at and do these things with me. We created such amazing, loving, fun memories. And if he keeps going the way he's going, we're not going to be able to create those memories. And so if you keep going in that and creating memories and being together, because we are soulmates and we're actually a husband and wife that truly love each other. You don't see that kind of depth of love all the time. I want Thomas Tidland and Donna Johnson's travel life. I want that travel itinerary, or maybe Karen's, I want that kind of life for my husband and for myself, because it brings us so much joy. And in doing so, I really think that most husbands and wives would have a better relationship. And maybe that would even decrease the divorce rate if they could just spend more time together and get to know each other at a deeper level and connect, rather than drift apart because of careers. I see that a lot. So, yeah, that's
what I love about everything you said, Leslie, is you have so much emotion behind it. And when you have a why that's packed with emotion, it's just more powerful. It has this energy that's going to, this magnetic energy that it's going to use law of attraction to attract the people and the circumstances that you need in order to get to that.
I'm trying to figure out how to put, like you, Joan, I'm trying to figure out how to put that into the ask. Like Melinda just just went in there so smoothly. But just saying it would tremendously shift our lives and lifestyle to promote to nation. Tremendously. I mean, $12,000 a month, 6 months in a row. Tim gives us 2 weeks notice.
Wow.
But sometimes, yeah. So sometimes I just feel like they don't care. It's, what do they care about me and my life? It's like, what's in it for them? What's in it for them? What's in it for them? Although most people are helpers. So I go, back and forth. What's in it for them? I got to share my story, which is all about me.
Well,
right?
What's in it for them happens after you get the booking, because then you're going to bring them the hostess back. You get to share all of this at their presentation and stuff. So
I feel like I need to have that, that really good benefit of what's in it for them out in front, for them to say yes. And so that's where I can just say, we're going to have a ton of fun. Who has a ton of fun every single week like I do with these? So let's just share the fun. But fun is all I got sometimes, because it isn't about the products unless there's value in the products already. Right? So I do struggle with that. I would, if I could get 30 presentations in a month, I'd do it. I'd be happy. I'd be thrilled. So does that mean I have to ask 300 to get 30?
Well, according to Tarrah, she's getting 8 out of 10 yeses.
Her connection with those people, they know her or their acquaintances, or she's just being vulnerable and say, I need your help.
And even as an NVP, she said that she was saying, hey, it's Tarrah, I'm personally challenging myself to step up my activity because Arbonne offered an NVP challenge trip, and it's always been on my dream board to take my husband to Africa, and this is what I'm doing. I'm challenging myself to book 8 presentations within 30 days. And out of all the people I could think of, who would be willing to do this, you came to mind. Would you be, would you be willing to? So even as an NVP, she's saying, this is our dream. Would you help me with that? And she said that she had people calling her months later, like, hey, how's your trip going? How was Africa? So
it seems to me that the key point there is she's saying, it's you I thought of. I thought of you. This would be beneficial to you.
Because you're nice.
People love to help other people, but when you point out someone like that and say, you're the one that came to my mind, then that makes them special.
Mm-hmm.
And people love to help other people.
So maybe it's I thought of you because I thought of you. Hold on, I just had it, and it's connected to the why and the challenge. So I thought of you because you would resonate with the challenge that I just gave myself, which is basically to retire my husband by December 1st. It's a huge challenge, and what it means is I need to meet a lot of people that I don't already know, but it'll change our lifestyle so significantly. It just makes my heart sing. So do you think you could help me out? What was that?
It gave me goosebumps. That was amazing, Leslie.
And you know what I love about all of it, though, Leslie, your heart comes through, and Karen, your heart comes through, and Joan, your heart comes through. And what I said, it was really, really what's happening in my life. And I think they're not going to listen to every word that you're saying. They want to know what you called, you thought of them, you're asking for help, and whatever. And I think it takes practice, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I know I get stuck at being perfect before I pick up the phone. And then by the time I'm going to pick up the phone, it's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh, I can't do it now. Darn. Right? Okay. Next day. So I have to just really decide that I'm just going to call my friends or call whomever and just be me. Take a deep breath and be me. And I like what you said, Leslie, like be quiet, because sometimes my verbiage changes depending on who I'm talking to. And being sensitive to, if I know them, being sensitive to what their needs are too. So I don't know. I love this call, and I think this is a huge need that we all need to get good at asking for help. And Tammy already said it, we're all very strong women. Because we're all entrepreneurs, and we just need to ask for help instead of thinking that because I have this whole Wonder Woman thing in my brain, right? I actually will claim that I'm Wonder Woman. I have all the paraphernalia, everything, and she's strong and independent and she can conquer the world when I need to ask for help. So I love this call, Tammy. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Thank you. That was perfect. So I wanted to, along with, and like I said, I'm going to post this verbiage from Tarrah Brandsma, and you can kind of work it into your own, how it feels authentic to you, adding your why, because you have to put that in somehow. But I wanted you to do something along with your asking, because our system, I just want to tie this in with our system. Our system is 40 faces a month, which, can break down into 8 group presentations or whatever you're doing. You could do 4 groups, but then you'd need to do, 20 one-on-ones. So however you want to do that, it's up to you. But 8 group presentations per month. I want you to put a line next to your top 8 whys. So write out your top 8 whys, your top 8 reasons. Joan had 9, so you're stuck with 9, Joan. And put a line next to your reason. And as you're booking your presentations, put okay, so I'm meeting with Abby, whatever. I have her presentation for June 23rd and whatever. You can mark in your presentations next to your whys. If you get to only 5 and you have 9 whys, which why are you going to cross off your list? Like, just kind of play this game with yourself, because really our asking is creating this ability to get to our why. So which why are we willing to give up if we're not willing to do the activity? Like, we either have to adjust the activity or adjust our goal, right? It has to be one or the other. So kind of do these little mind games with yourself, like just to push yourself that one little extra degree, because that's going to change. That changes our business, is when we're pushing for a goal, when we're pushing, like, my goodness, this is like such a transition state for me, just moving. And yes, I have to up my activity right now to get the momentum going again. So think about it. Call as many people as you can in 15-minute increments. Set the timer. All right. So do this in 15-minute spurts, and just try to call as many people as you can. Even if you have to leave a message, that's okay. And I wouldn't go into the whole thing. I would just say, hey, Melinda, it's Tammy. Would love to ask you something. You've been on my mind. I'm hoping you're having a great day. I wouldn't, talk about what you want. You just want to talk to them in person, right? Because belief has a sound, and they need to hear your heart. So even if you're leaving messages, it's okay. But give yourself 15-minute increments. It's uncomfortable for 15 short minutes, but then you'll be so happy because you'll start getting some events on your books, right? So can we all just commit to being uncomfortable for 15-minute increments? Like, practice this verbiage, because it's a skill. I'm going to post it, and skills can be practiced and refined. And one event for each why that you have. Like, do that little game with yourself so that you don't let yourself off the hook, so that you don't let yourself stop. And, you think about this. I love how Cecilia Stoll says, this business doesn't take confidence, it takes courage. And so can you, be courageous for 15 minutes at a time and just put your heart out there and ask for help. Ask if they'd be willing to help you out. And again, this isn't about being perfect. It's just about being authentic and sharing your heart and inviting people into your mission, your cause. It was so interesting because I asked this girl who I've known for a little while in this area if she would take a look at Arbonne as a business, and she politely said no. Because a lot of people do. They just have a pushback. It's okay. And I said, I just want to be clear with you. Arbonne isn't about selling. It's not about the products or the car or whatever. In my mind, Arbonne is about giving back to the community, right? We're a network marketing company that wants to be known as the #1 company that gives back, the company that gives back the most. I'm like, what, I was telling her about what we did at Christmas time for the grandparents gift, how we raised money to give seniors a lip balm and a hand cream, and we actually raised enough for all 118 seniors at the senior home here in Harbor Springs. And I said, this is why I do Arbonne, is so that I can give back and make the world a better place, make the community a better place. And I asked her, what is on your heart that you could see, what need do you see in the community that we could work on together? And she talked about the fact that there are kids, that her kids go to school with that do not have school lunches. And I'm like, oh, well, this touches my heart too. We can figure this out. There's a group called Manna or something here where I'm going to investigate and see, what it's going to take. If it's a percentage of money, if it's volunteer hours, whatever they need, we're going to work on this to help these kids have school lunches. I mean, this is so fun, and people want to be part of that cause and that mission. And she looked at me and she's like, I would do that. She goes, I would be part of that. And so, we have to kind of shift it away from, there's so many like commercials and ads for products and this and this, and people just like tune it out. We have to really make these heart connections in order to move forward, and not, there's so many layers to this, but not take the no at face. Take the no at face value. Don't take it deep into your heart, because they just don't know enough. You know what I mean? But I love that Arbonne is so much more than just a product. It's about making a difference. And so just keep that in your mind. And often too, people, people who are telling you no, they might have just said in the last sentence, like, man, my husband just lost his job, we're scrambling for money. And, you could come back with, okay, you're saying no to Arbonne, I hear that, but you're also saying that you need an opportunity. And this is an opportunity. Like, maybe just take a look and see what it's all about before you say no. Anyway, I could go on, but I hope that as we're calling and making connections, we're also keeping our why in front of us and, not letting ourselves off the hook. Again, this doesn't take confidence, it takes courage, but do you know what builds confidence?
Activity.
Yes, because you're improving your skills and you get that experience under your belt. But another thing that builds confidence is when we do what we say we're going to do.
Okay.
So I know I'm just as guilty as anybody else. It gets to this point in the month, it's June 19. It's like, oh, I don't know. This month isn't going so well, so maybe next month will be better. You know what would feel really good? Think about how proud of yourself you would be if you booked 3 more presentations this month and you got the ball rolling for July, because guess what? We're going to have our genius, right, in July. So what if you just made your own self proud because you're going to do what you say you set out to do for June? Like, don't let yourself off the hook. Look at your whys, draw a line beside it, fill those gaps, talk to people, connect to the heart. We can so do this, and we're going to do it together, okay? Love you guys so much. And I love this call too. Did anyone have anything else to add or any questions or comments? All right.
I do, Tammy.
Oh, go ahead, Leslie. I always love hearing from
Check
you.
the chat room too. Check the chat room.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have that rolling. So can you help me put it in verbiage for someone I don't know? Yes. How would you answer that, Leslie, for someone you don't know? I would just sort of talk, like you're, when they answer the phone, I say, hi, Susie, this is Tammy Ray. I met you at the Arbonne table at the Michigan Earth Day event. It was so fun connecting with you. As you recall, you filled out a form that said that you were interested in the Healthy Living program, and I'm really excited to talk to you about that. I would just, you know what I mean? It's all sort of like mirroring back what they asked of you, what they expressed that they were interested in. I don't know what you had talked about to that person, but maybe you said that you have an event coming up. I would maybe at that point, if you don't know them, I would invite them to something, or ask them, if I sent you a video, would you watch it today? And can I follow up with you tomorrow? Or, you know what I mean? Like, is that what you would do, Leslie? Okay, so does that help? I hope that helps.
Yeah, it all depends on if it's a whole bunch of slips from a table, then it would be, okay, boot camp and or facials, and they said interested now, won't get back to me, which is normal. People don't do that. I would just put them on a callback list and keep going. Just do excellent follow-up, polite, persistent follow-up, and eventually they'll either call you back or change their number, or you'll get a hold of them, or you'll stop. It just depends on what you feel. But, it's that connection factor. I think anyone on our list is somewhere between a 0 and a 10 as far as connection. It's like your own sister and your own mother would be a 10, right? And so lower number connection, like a 1 or a 2, maybe you met them. It's harder, I think, because it is about connection. It's not about the products, about helping someone out, then it's definitely about connection. So I
agree. That's why I love saying, I remember you saying that you were interested in this and this, and we had this conversation. I write like a crazy woman. When I've talked to someone at a vendor event, I write as many descriptions about that person as I can to remind myself, so that when I'm going back, I can say, oh, I remember you live in the same, neighborhood that I used to live in, and whatever, just to get them to jog their memory too, because they might not remember you from the Arbonne table or what you guys talked about. So whatever you can do to jog their memory, and then mirror back what they said to you, so that you're not making any assumptions. You're just doing follow-up, right, about what they asked for. So I hope that was helpful. Is there, let's see here, any other questions? Oh, can you help me put it in verbiage for someone I don't know? I have a large, oh.
Yeah, we already did that.
Okay, we already did that. Thanks, Melinda. All right, well, we're going to close the call. We can keep chatting afterwards, though, okay, if you want to. All right, love you guys. Thanks so much for being on. Happy Father's Day. Happy summer this week. Hello, summer. And let's just do something today and this week that we're going to be proud of ourselves for. So do what you said you were going to do and make it happen. And let's get the momentum rolling so we can have a fantastic July as well. Love you. See you next week.